president of Hastings College. We're delighted to have you on campus today for this very special moment for the city of Hastings. So it is my pleasure to welcome a friend and mayor of Hastings, Mayor Beckby.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming down. I'd like to give a few comments here real quick, and then we'll get on with this. I'd like to say good morning. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to Hastings College this morning for our award ceremony. I'm Mayor Jay Beckby, and I want to note a couple special guests with us today. Governor Jim Pillen, Director of Nebraska Economic Development, Casey Belitz, and I want to thank Lloyd and the Hastings College team for hosting this morning on campus. Today we're gathered on this beautiful campus to celebrate the success of our community. So many of you in attendance are part of the efforts to make Hastings such a special place. I have called Hastings home all of my life. As a business owner and parent, and now mayor, my commitment to Hastings is to do our absolute best with local government efficiency. I want to continue making long-term investments into projects that aren't just serving us today, but will make sure Hastings is the community of choice for mine and all of the kids in our community, as well as the students at Hastings College, Central Community College, and Bryan Health. When students come here for their college experience, we want them to choose Hastings as their home. As community leaders, it's our job to create opportunities for them and engage with them in Hastings. One perfect example is Lily Teeple, a Scott Scholar here at Hastings College, Director of the Business District, member of Hastings Youth Young Professionals Leadership Team. She's also spent time as an intern for the Community Redevelopment Authority in the city of Hastings. Lily has deeply dug into our community and represents how impactful that our youth can be when they choose to get involved. It's the job of all of us here today to continue investing in our community to create more opportunities for students like Lily to choose Hastings. Again, thank you for all joining us. Next, I have the honor of introducing you to Governor Jim Pillen. Jim Pillen is a veterinarian, livestock producer, farmer, entrepreneur, regent, and the governor of Nebraska. Born and raised in Platte County, he's a lifelong Nebraskan. Governor Pillen and his father Dale partnered together raising 60 sows and 1,200 market hogs on a dirt lot on their home farm. In 1993, he started Pillen Family Farms and added DNA genetics in 2003. In 2012, his children, Sarah and Brock, joined the family business. A former Husker defensive back that I watched, Governor Pillen holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Animal Science from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and a doctorate of veterinary medicine from Kansas State University. He and his wife of more than 40 years, Suzanne, have 4 children, Sarah, Brock, Polly, and Isaac, and 7 grandchildren, William, Hallie, Eloise, Henry, Harrison, Ava, and Thomas. The Pillens live in Columbus, where they attend St. Isidore's Catholic Church. Please welcome our Governor, Jim Pillen.
Thank you, Lloyd, and welcome. Just extraordinary. Congratulations, everybody, being here and for the big celebration. I don't know about you, but my 7 grandbabies, I had to get back to work. I'm wore out. We had a lot of fun. We had a great weekend. So he's risen, and hallelujah. Let me just say, it just touches me deeply to get the chance to be here and celebrate Hastings. Hastings has been like a second home. Our family's been doing business east of town now for almost 25 years, but I had an extraordinary privilege. I mean, there's 3 people in Hastings that have touched my life deeply. Of course, Coach Osborne. You know, I don't know who I'd be without Coach Cohen and giving me a scholarship and transforming, even as I say, even as immature as I was in college, the impact he had. And then I got really, really fortunate to somehow meet a guy named Ken Morrison in about 1993. And he said, why don't you come on over, I'd like to meet you. And I had Tuesdays with Ken for about a year, every other Tuesday. And pretty soon we did a deal, and then we did another one. And you know, Ken was a guy that believed in me. And you know, the power of belief is extraordinary. And Ken Morrison loved this community so much. And it's really, really cool if you turn behind and see it. This building, I think Ken had a more than big impact, and his pictures on the wall, pretty cool with Dr. Reeves. And then the other is Bobby Gotch. And I don't know how many of you all knew Bobby? Good number of hands. So Bobby, you know, Bobby didn't go to a day to college, not one day. And Kenny talked him into falling in love with Hastings College, and he did, and he gave it everything he had. And the greatest story of Bobby, you know, he didn't have much patience. When everybody agreed on something, and I don't think I'm misrepresenting this one iota, but when the Hastings board agreed that the old golf course was going to become an athletic complex and everything, I mean, the next day, Bobby's got his John Deere equipment out knocking trees down. And I said, wait a minute, you can't do that. Everybody doesn't know yet. So really, really good stuff. And I had the opportunity to be with Dave Rippey and the Scott Scholars last week in Lincoln. So, you know, the one thing that's extraordinary, right? None of us fully appreciated, but the greatest thing about Nebraska is it's the people. The people in Nebraska, and needless to say, Hastings is a shining star. The community development and everything that happens. You know, from my view, the state does a little bit, but it, you know, it might be a little seed money here or there. It might be, but there's only one reason why things are happening in Hastings. It's because of the people of Hastings. It's because the people of Hastings come together and make things happen. And that's what's so incredibly big deal across all of Nebraska. But in 2025, Hastings is the shining star, and we couldn't be more proud of all the things that go on. And I think that, you know, when you look at Hastings and you look at that we're here at Hastings College, I think it's pretty cool that, you know, I can't say the exact date that Hastings College started, but that you had a college in the community, and it put a mindset for generations and generations of doing extraordinary things. So with that, let me invite Shannon Landauer with Hastings Economic Development to come up, and congratulations.
First, I want to just notice and again thank our special guest today, Governor Pillen, Director Casey Belitz, and I know Senator Lanuski is in the room with us as well. So we appreciate you giving us some time today. And thank you to Hastings College. As we told Aaron Thursday when we were practicing the route, making sure everything was great, they couldn't have painted a more beautiful picture for us this morning for this event, so we really appreciate that as well. So many of our conversations at HEDC in the Chamber find their way back to discussing telling our story. It can be that simple, just letting people know what we have and what we're blessed with here in Hastings. But this last year has been full of some tremendous activity for our city. We've seen the growth of industry, new and growing small businesses, new education partnerships, and housing projects that all have collided at the same time to make it one giant year for our community. And based on all of those conversations, we know that there's also a lot more to come. There's a lot of momentum in Hastings, and we see a lot of energy around that right now. Our community leaders, many of you in the room, think a little bit differently. We approach things differently. We have more of a get-it-done attitude, and we always forge the best partnerships we can, bringing the right people to the table. Especially when it comes to fundraising. Not every community has people that are willing to step up and invest in projects such as our Schnese District project that we're really excited to see open soon. We also really love to bring people into our community and watch their faces and their expressions when they experience Hastings for the first time. As the governor says, it's the people. We know that we can call on some of us in the room and that we'll put our best foot forward every time. Again, I'm not sure that these projects would be happening without all of you, without the can-do attitude that we have, showing up and doing the work, envisioning the future of our community, and again, investing all the time and energy it takes to get these things done. I will say it's a little bit overwhelming when you wake up every day and you get to represent this community and do work to improve the lives of people that you'll maybe never meet. They'll never know that, and you don't need to thank you, but all of you were so willing to do that, and you're all very much appreciated. As you've heard the governor mention this morning, and often when he talks about the people. And we could not be more excited to be partnering with Governor Pillen, with Director Belitz and his team on the Good Life is Calling campaign that we're just really getting rolled out in March. We had not only the opportunity to sit with their leaders in Lincoln, but also to host them. And as we talk about rural, all of them said, this doesn't feel rural. You know, that this is a city. We've got a lot of great things going on out here that people just would never even expect or dream could happen. And we really are hoping to make people more comfortable with the rural lifestyle. We know that nationally, people are choosing to get out of the metro. They want to be a part of something, especially after that COVID experience. And we'll be working really hard here to continue telling that story way beyond Nebraska, letting people know that you can be like City and start a brand new company here and choose Hastings over any other community. Or you can be a Lily that comes for college and chooses to stay here. There's just hours and days worth of stories like that we could tell, and we want to make sure that continues to be the case. So again, we want to say thank you to Governor Pillen, Director Belitz, and the DED team for this recognition. It's for you. The recognition is for all of you that are a part of everything wonderful that's happening, and not just now, but for the years that put the work into place so these things could happen for Hastings. So again, congratulations and thank you. But I also want to ask Director Belitz if you'd like to come share a few comments for us from the DED perspective.
Thank you, Shannon. Just a word or two quickly, and I'll just continue on that theme. There has never been a time in economic development where this kind of work is more important. And I say that because today, of course, it's a very different era of economic development where it's really as much about talent as it is the jobs, right? We know we have lots of opportunities in Nebraska. We need talented Nebraskans and more of them to fill those jobs. And so in that environment, what you're doing, what got you the recognition as Showcase Community is exactly the right things to be doing. Because as Shannon just alluded to, we know people are more open to the idea of living in rural America than they've ever been, or at least that they've been in the last 100 years, give or take. Well, in that environment, are they going to live in rural Nebraska? Are they going to live in rural Kansas, Missouri, whatever, right? They have those choices. So we have to, as a state and as a community, do the things that attract them here. And that's what we're doing in the projects that we are celebrating this morning. And if you need a little encouragement that it really can work, that it really can be a successful effort, let me just, you may have seen some of the coverage around Pawnee City, small town in southeast Nebraska. At last count, last week, there are almost 800 people who have applied across the country to come to Pawnee City to take advantage of the opportunity to buy a house and live in Pawnee City. Almost 800 people literally from Alaska to the East Coast. So if it can happen there, it can happen here. And you are setting yourself up for that kind of success. We're proud to be a small part of that, just as the governor said, proud to be a catalyst for that. But what we do is not going to make an impact without all of the work that all of you in this room are doing and will continue to do. So celebrate today. Take that minute to not be quite as humble as Nebraskans normally are. Celebrate today, brag today, and tomorrow get back to work. Let's keep doing it. Thanks, everybody.
And you know, I wouldn't be doing my work if I wouldn't share this and wasn't planning on it, but this is a statistic that nobody knows about. From 2000 till 2022, guess what our K-12 enrollment has done in the state of Nebraska? It's increased 16%. 16%. So when anybody's starting to think about workforce development, what's really, really important, we all roll our sleeves up and do a great job of engaging with our kids. Today, in my lifetime, things creeped across Nebraska called poverty. And we have poverty in every one of our communities, and we have kids that are growing up in tougher circumstances than any of us in this room can comprehend. Well, they need our help. They need our help, and they are a key. We need to lift those kids up, engage in high school. Our superintendents here, all superintendents across the state have said, hey, come into our high schools, engage with our kids so that we can develop relationships. And then we as business leaders are going to be hiring these kids, taking them to Hastings College or to community college, get their trade skill sets so we can grow our businesses. If we don't do that, it's going to be very, very difficult to grow our businesses. But we have 16% growth. Nobody could have comprehended that would happen in Nebraska, but it has, and we're just on the tip of it. And you guys are. So with that, Mayor, please come on up. I'd like to present you with the Community Development Governor Showcase Community Award awarded to Hastings for 2025. Congratulations. Privilege as governor, we do proclamations, and it's really, something I didn't have any idea about until I became governor. But doing proclamations is really a cool thing because it helps create awareness. Do proclamations about different genetic disorders, Down syndromes, to victims of crime, you name it, and it's really important. It helps us create awareness. So as I say, as we can go out and do better to our brothers and sisters if we keep learning a few more things. So this today is a proclamation for Community Development Month, whereas this year marks the 39th anniversary of National Community Development Month campaign, which was designed to focus local as well as national attention on the numerous outstanding accomplishments over the past years and over the past 33 years of the home program. And whereas the month of April has been reserved in Nebraska and nationally recognized and appreciate the efforts of all Nebraskans who contribute to community development efforts. Now therefore be I, Jim Pillen, Governor of the extraordinary state of Nebraska, do hereby proclaim the month of April as Community Development Month in Nebraska, and I do hereby urge all citizens to take due notice. Congratulations, Hastings, for all your accomplishments. And I wanted to give a shout out. I see Senator, your new representative from Hastings, Senator Landauer here. Senator Landauer's doing a great job in the first session. Thanks for all your efforts, Senator Landauer. He had a great idea last week. We recognized the University of Nebraska being national runners-up in wrestling, which is a monumental growth and accomplishment. And we overlooked someone. We're going to have to figure out how to get out to UNK for the national champions of that division. So congratulations, everyone. Thank you for being here, Shannon. Thank you for your leadership, Mayor. It's a great accomplishment in the first 100 days, by the way.
Governor, will you hold that up? Hold that up, please. Thank you.
And let me leave you with the gift of appreciation. I think that sometimes, us Nebraskans, we all just work so hard. As Casey said, we don't take time to celebrate. Really, really important for you all to have a full appreciation for your community. Community of Hastings is really, really special. So I think it's important that that we all make sure we take time, look each other in the eyes, and be grateful for who we all are, because your community is very special. Congratulations. Godspeed. Thank you.
Is that where that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope so. Are you with the CD?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
DED.
No, I'm sorry.
Which makes sense because I took like 100 photos when it came out. So you probably were like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.